Can you see me? All right. This week's Parsha, Parshas Vayetze. So I'm sure you're familiar with the story that Yaakov Avinu, he was up for many years and he finally went to sleep. And he took several rocks, put it around his head, and they became one big rock. Starts off, everybody knows the story that all of the rocks were complaining. They wanted Tzaddik to put his head on them, and eventually turned to one big rock. I had a very similar experience. So you don't know that. Several years ago, I was a guest by somebody for Shabbos, and they gave me a chair. A lot of small holes, and all of the holes were complaining. I wanted him to sit on me, and Baruch Hashem, the Eibishter made it was one big hole, and I fell through the chair. That's why this Parshas Vayetze is very, very close to me, because I've experienced. I know what Yaakov Avinu felt when he woke up in the morning. All right. More important, we see in this week's Parsha. I woke you up. I'm sorry. We see in this week's Parsha something very interesting. Yaakov Avinu gets married. He has this one girl that he really likes. He fell in love the first time he saw her. And he decided he wants to get married to her, and he was willing to do whatever it takes. And she had an older sister. He married Rachel. And the older sister, Leah, he wasn't too excited about. And there's different reasons. Some say she wasn't as pretty. Some say because it was destined that she's supposed to marry Esav, because Esav was the older brother, and he was supposed to marry Leah, and Yaakov was going to marry the younger daughter, which is Rachel. But he ends up being the lifespan. How long was he together with Rachel? Probably 14 years altogether, from when they got married until she passed away. She passed away at a very young age, at the age of 36. Versus Leah, married for a lot longer. He's buried next to Leah. He had how many kids?
8 if you count twin sisters.
Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda.
They all had twin sisters.
Okay, we're not going to get into this twin. Yeah, he had more kids with her. Kind of see, everything didn't work. Everything that he wanted didn't really work out the way he wanted. He didn't have a long life with her. He's not buried with her. He didn't have many kids with her. It's something to stop and think what the children of Leah represented, what the children of Rachel represented, what Leah represented, what Rachel represented. Rachel was the perfect woman. The one that he fell in love with. She was perfect in every way. And her kids are known to be great kids. No major struggles. Yosef, he had personal struggles, but he's known as Yosef HaTzadik. Not so many people get the title Tzadik. He's known as Yosef HaTzadik. And he overcame so many difficulties with Potiphar, with being by under Paroi. The fact that Yaakov, when he gave a bracha to the children of Yosef, the bracha was, I'm going to put you, Ephraim and Menashe, Reuven and Shimon in your lead. They should be like Reuven and Shimon. Why? Because they grew up in Mitzrayim, in a place that there was no Yiddishkeit, there was no Torah, there was nothing there. In fact, the influence in Mitzrayim was the opposite, was contrary to what they believed, and they still became very, very frum. They still did everything the way he wanted. So he gave them that title. Leah, on the other hand, struggled. She self-conscious. It says Leah, Eine Leah Rakois. The pshat is that she was crying a lot. She maybe wasn't as attractive. Her kids, Reuven, we know. A little anger issue is what the Torah says. Shimon and Levi, a shtickle wild. Yehuda, story with Tamar. There's a lot of funny things that a person may question, like, why are we highlighting? Why is the Torah highlighting these stuff? You have to talk about everybody's mistake. We try not to talk about people's mistakes. Try to talk positive about people. The answer is everything in the Torah is there for a reason, and it's there to teach us a lesson. It's very easy to be a tzaddik. For somebody who's a tzaddik, it's very easy, no struggles. It's not highlighted too much. The purpose in this world can be accomplished when you're a tzaddik, but it's greater when a person doesn't have it by nature to be a tzaddik. By nature, you have struggles. By nature, things are not easy for you. And you overcome them. Ruvain, he was nifter as a tzaddik. He's known as a tzaddik. Maybe he's not called a tzaddik, but he was a righteous person. Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Leah, all of them, they struggled through life. And they overcame their struggles. They overpowered themselves. In life, and all of us are all going to have our own struggles. We're all going to go through difficulties. When you overpower them, you become a greater tzaddik. Become a greater person. Says, Shev people tzaddik become. It's not that a tzaddik falls 7 times. It's that a tzaddik, every time he falls, he gets up. When you have struggles, when things are difficulty, you realize that that's a bracha for you. The biggest bracha that we have is a Yetzer Hara. We are better than Malachim. It's hard to believe because people want to give you a compliment and they say you're an angel. It's not a compliment. Because Malachim don't get schar. Malachim don't get olam haba. They don't have any struggles. An animal, does he have any struggles? Probably not. Which I don't think there's an animal that has an element to steal from somebody else. All it wants to have is the hay, water, and walk around, and then go again. Go to sleep in order to wake up. We have a Yetzer Hara. It's a struggle, but it's the greatest blessing. We struggle. Sometimes he wins. Most of the time we overpower him. We become greater people. We become people who repent, loosely translated as Bali Tshuva, but every person has had a struggle that he overpowers. And it could be in Ruchnius, it could be in Gashmius, it could be ben Adam Lachaveroi amongst friends, a person that personality issues, that he can't really get along with people as well, and he overcomes himself. He starts becoming friendlier with people. He holds back from talking back to people, holds back from getting upset at people. Somebody who by nature is messy, but it's annoying everybody else, and he's trying to clean up after himself. You overcome your struggles, you become a greater person. And that's probably, maybe, one of the reasons the Torah highlights people's struggles, people's mistakes. To show you that you're not a bad person when you have a struggle. To show you you're not a bad person when you make a mistake, as long as you correct it. All of us in life, hopefully, will experience the struggle and after the struggle, how you have become a better person, how you have fixed yourself, how you become a greater person. There is a guy, I don't know if you guys know about him. Close. His name is LeBron James. We're same age, we're friendly. Akron, Canton, we know each other. LeBron James, everybody knows how great of a basketball player he is. Not everybody. I'm sure people in Williamsburg don't know. But besides that, people know how great of a basketball player he is. Nobody talks about the day, how many times, he has a gym in his house. At least the house in Akron has a gym. And he would spend, I know at the high school, not the high school, at Akron University, he would spend 5 to 6 hours a day just practicing. Nobody really talks about it. TV reporters, nobody came to watch him. It's only by the game that everybody talks, and everybody sits over there with the cameras. They zoom in on him, and they write up about him, and they talk about him, and there's pictures, and you go on YouTube, everything about the game. How about the practice? Not much is talked about it. In fact, I met somebody that his son went over to him when he was practicing. He says, "Could I play with you?" It's an opportunity that not too many people could say they had. Because the guy is sitting here practicing. Nobody really cares about it. They only care about the game. Why do people care about the game?
That's the way it shows results.
Why? Why does it show results?
That's what matters. That's the real deal.
Because there's somebody taking you. You're going against, that's where the struggle is. The struggle is when there's more than one guy going against you. Yeah, maybe you're better than them, but there's three guys and everybody's after you, and they steal it from you. Nobody's afraid of you. They'll try to take it, and you still overcome. That shows the power of a person. When you see a duck floating in the water, swimming in the water, if it goes with the stream, it doesn't mean that that it's healthy. If it goes against stream, that shows the greatness of a person. When you go against the flow, when your Yetzer Hara or whatever is influencing you, it's just a sad day. It's a rainy day. Nobody's waking up on time. Nobody's interested in going. The lunch wasn't as good as you thought it was. You looked on the sheet and you thought it was going to be something better. Breakfast, the circuit breaker popped and you didn't get your eggs that you wanted. The toast wasn't. Everything's just a bad day. Let's just put our head down and let's forget about the whole day. When you have a shvacha day and you overcome it, you feel a lot greater. You took a day that could have gone to the waste, and you've turned it to a great day. Hopefully we can learn from this parsha, and throughout the parshas, whenever you see it talks something that's not as positive as we could have had it, you realize that the greater people are the people that struggled and they overcome. People that businesses know this. Somebody that built his own business probably won't fail. People that inherit businesses, that the great-grandfather put blood, sweat, and tears in, and that the grandson or the great-grandson was born with a golden spoon, was born on a Rolls Royce, shows up. They take over the business. There's no struggle. There's no personal feel to it. The business could fail. Hopefully we could all be the person that we take our struggles, we become better people from them, in Ruchnius, in Gashmius, Ben Adam Lamokim, Ben Adam Lachaverei. And if we do that, I'll have an easier job. We'll have if we do that, everything will be fine. All right. Have a good Shabbos.